You ever feel like your to-do list runs your life? Like you're constantly chasing deadlines, handling emergencies, replying to emails, running from one meeting to another, and at the end of the day, you're exhausted but not fulfilled? Stephen R. Covey, best known for the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, noticed that too. But instead of offering another productivity hack or a time-saving app, he asked a deeper question: are we putting first things first? And that question became the foundation of one of his most powerful books. First Things First isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters most. It's a wake-up call for anyone who's tired of being busy and wants to start being effective. Covey begins by challenging the old model of time management. You know the one, make a list, rank it by priority, get through as much as you can. But he argues that this model is broken because it assumes everything on the list is equally worthy of your time. Here's the truth: not everything urgent is important, and not everything important is urgent. Covey introduces what he calls the time management matrix, with 4 quadrants. Quadrant 1, urgent and important, crises, deadlines, emergencies. Quadrant 2, not urgent but important, planning, relationships, health, personal growth. Quadrant 3, urgent but not important, interruptions, some calls, most emails. Quadrant 4, neither urgent nor important, distractions, time wasters, mindless scrolling. Most of us live in quadrants 1 and 3, always reacting, always putting out fires. But true fulfillment? That lives in quadrant 2, the things that don't scream for your attention, but shape your future. Like spending time with your family, exercising, reflecting, strategizing, reading, planning, resting. These aren't urgent, but they're everything. Covey says the key to a meaningful life isn't time management, it's life leadership. It's about deciding what matters most, then aligning your days around that. That's what it means to put first things first. And to do that, he introduces the compass over clock metaphor. Most people live by the clock. What's next? How long will it take? How fast can I get it done? But people who live well, they live by the compass. They ask, where am I going? What direction aligns with my values? You can be extremely efficient and still be going in the wrong direction. The goal isn't speed, it's significance. Covey gives us a tool, the weekly planning system. Instead of planning around tasks, you plan around roles and goals. Every week you sit down and ask, who am I this week? A parent? A team leader? A friend? A writer? A learner? Then for each role, you choose 1 or 2 quadrant 2 actions, things that move the needle. Maybe as a parent, it's one-on-one time with your kid. As a professional, it's deep work on a long-term project. As a friend, it's checking in on someone you've been meaning to call. It's not about quantity, it's about intentionality. When you plan this way, you stop chasing, you start creating. You feel less like a prisoner of your calendar and more like the author of your life. One story in the book really stuck with me. It's about a group of executives at a leadership retreat. The facilitator brings out a glass jar and a bunch of rocks, pebbles, and sand. He pours the sand in first, then the pebbles, then tries to fit the big rocks, and they don't fit. Then he empties it all out and does it in reverse. Big rocks first, then pebbles, then sand. Everything fits. That's the metaphor. The big rocks are the important things: your health, your values, your family, your dreams. If you don't schedule them first, they won't fit later. Let's zoom in on quadrant 2 for a moment, because it's where everything truly shifts. Most people think success is about working harder, but Covey shows us it's about working on the right things. You could be burning energy all day and still be missing your true priorities. That's the trap. Quadrant 2 is your ticket out. Let me give you a real-world example Covey shares. One manager realized that every week he was solving other people's problems, micromanaging fires, and barely spending time developing his team. So, he blocked 1 hour weekly for leadership development, coaching, feedback, and deep listening. Within months, not only was the team performing better, but the fires started to disappear. That's the quadrant 2 effect. It prevents future emergencies by investing in what matters now. Covey emphasizes that putting first things first requires courage. You'll have to say no to distractions, to pressure, even to people. But when you say no to what doesn't matter, you create space to say yes to what does. He also introduces the idea of the burning yes. It's not enough to just eliminate time wasters. You have to be pulled forward by a mission, a vision, a purpose that burns bright enough to guide your decisions. Another part of the book that hits hard is about the emotional bank account. Every relationship is like a bank account. Every kind word, kept promise, or moment of empathy is a deposit. Every broken promise, harsh word, or act of neglect is a withdrawal. If you withdraw too much, the account goes into crisis. But steady, consistent deposits, those build trust, safety, and connection. This ties directly to putting people first, because relationships aren't urgent, they're important. And without intentional time and care, they slowly drift. Covey also speaks to the importance of renewal, what he calls sharpening the saw. Imagine trying to cut down a tree with a dull blade. It takes forever. You're working hard, but inefficiently. Sometimes the best thing you can do isn't more work. It's rest, reflection, learning, or exercise. That's not slacking, it's sustaining. He reminds us that we have 4 dimensions to care for: the physical, exercise, rest, nutrition; the spiritual, purpose, values, meditation, nature; the mental, reading, learning, creating; the emotional, social, relationships, empathy, service. When you renew all 4, you operate at your highest capacity. It's worth noting that Covey doesn't promise perfection, he promises progress. He knows you're not going to get it all right every week, but when you build a rhythm of reflection and realignment, something amazing happens. Your life starts to reflect your values, not just your obligations. The book ends with a moving exercise. Imagine your funeral. What do you want your spouse, friend, or coworker to say about you? What kind of person were you? What legacy did you leave behind? It's not meant to be dark, it's meant to clarify. If you know how you want to be remembered, you can start living that way today. So if this message resonates with you, if you're tired of rushing through your days, constantly reacting, checking boxes but feeling unfulfilled, then first things first might just change how you approach everything. It's not about cramming more into your schedule. It's about making space for what matters. It's about trading busyness for balance, pressure for purpose, noise for clarity. Because here's the truth. Life doesn't reward you for doing more. It rewards you for doing what matters. And you don't need to wait until next month or next year to start. You can begin this week, right now, with one decision. Maybe it's finally scheduling that doctor's appointment. Maybe it's calling a loved one. Maybe it's blocking out 1 hour this Sunday to reflect, rest, and reset. Whatever your big rock is, make space for it. You'll be amazed at how different your life starts to feel when it's driven by purpose, not pressure. If this video helped you pause and reflect, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon so you don't miss future summaries that go beyond the surface and speak to your real life. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's one big rock, one truly important thing you're ready to put first this week? Let's start a conversation. Let's encourage each other to live by the compass, not just the clock. Because the most meaningful life isn't the one that's packed. It's the one that's aligned. And the good news is, you can begin today. Just one step, one shift, one rock at a time.